Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the best PvP tournament players of all time in Rain, going up against the king of ladder Protoss in Rich. Still don't know why Rich didn't play in the ASL qualifiers this time. Really weird. He's such a high level. In fact, and I guess a spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the PvP in the round of 8 yet, that's kind of surprising. It's been out a while now. But yeah, Rain versus Snow. It was a great match. At the end, Snow actually thanked in the interview Rich as one of his big practice partners, where he was playing an unbelievable amount of PvPs a day against Rich. Not surprising to hear that. So definitely, you know, Rich is of that level where Snow, who I think most people would consider the best Protoss in the world, want him as one of their primary practice partners when going up against, you know, the king of PvP of the last many years in Rain. So that's kind of cool. So let's see if we take out the middleman of Snow and just put Rich against Rain. What does that look like? We're on Radeon. Hope you guys are enjoying a mirror matchup here. I'm going to mix them in occasionally just to mix it up, and I'm not doing something goofy like Mirror Match Mondays or something. You guys keep saying that. And it's like, okay, yes, it's alliteration. Alliteration's great. The human brain loves patterns. But I'm not going to, that's not going to be a thing. I'll just mix them in sometimes when they pop up and they look reasonable. You know, Rich versus Rain, I mean, that's exactly the type of match you want. I think you guys would be bored if it was Rich versus Motive. That wouldn't be as exciting, even though Motive is one of those top ladder guys. It's better to see, like, okay, top ladder guy against top tournament guy. What does that look like? And in fact, for me too, where it's like, the thing is, I play the ladder so much. For me, like, I actually really like seeing, like, speed top ladder guy against, who would be another top ladder? Like, let's say he played, I don't know, Ride Sky, right? That would be a pretty exciting TVT for me to watch. But at the same time, it's like, oh, speed versus light. There you go. Okay, ladder versus tournament guy. It's kind of a more exciting storyline, I guess. Okay, anyways, Rain going to find Rich first. Rich going in the wrong direction, so he's probably not going to get there in time to really get very much scouting done. Cybernetics cores on both sides finishing. They're both going to pop a Dragoon as quickly as possible. Rain just kind of running from this Zealot for now, and he'll keep it in here until the Dragoon's about to pop and then run away. That's just very normal stuff. Oh! Rich actually adjusts and goes to the top right. That's kind of interesting. Wonder why I did that. Wonder what that's all about. But yeah, you know, this is a little mini game where you keep the probe in the base until the Dragoon comes out, just to make sure your opponent can't start like a Citadel or something, get DTs super fast. And in fact, even though there's no probe over here, he doesn't know if one's about to show. So after the Dragoon is out, you can just make whatever tech it was that you were going to make. Now, I don't know on Rain's side what he wants to do here. He hasn't been scouted at all. He's sending a Dragoon out immediately. He was actually looking for the probe. See where he's walking up here? He's looking for the probe. He's saying, okay, you probably scouted here, then here, and now you're going to go here. So he's looking for it, but Rich did cross-spawn scout and then ran home. How funny. This was actually a good idea. Hey, look, he's looking for it. He's looking for it. This was a good idea from Rain. You're going to catch it a lot of the time. This happens all the time, for instance, in TVP. All the time, the Goon comes out and catches the SCV because they kind of know what the scout pattern probably is, and, you know, they go chase it, and then you run away, and they turn around and stuff like that, and they just kind of zone it out. Anyways, you know, Rich kind of outsmarting him, I guess, in that way. Robotics near the ramp, and Robotics near the ramp. So pretty safe play here from Rain. We did see from Rain, you know, in the match against Snow, definitely when he could, when he felt like it was a reasonable build, he went for the Nexus as quickly as he possibly could, and those were some really strong games out of him. Here, playing a little bit more safely on the ladder. Probably good to practice all sorts of different ranges of play. And look at this. He's watching for any exits through here, and he's watching any exits through here, and he's left the Dragoon. You put the Dragoon here, it's more likely he can come up at an angle, and if you don't catch it instantly, the Dragoons can do like shoot, move, and like get a bunch of damage on it. You set it here, there's not really an angle that they can get as easily. Well, when it was here, that was the case. Here he runs forward, he just checks, okay, sees a Goon. That's the funny thing about goons. they're pretty damn fast. So run in, peek. Like, what do we see? What do we see? But yeah, the placement of that, very important, of course. And shuttle on the way. So robotics support bay coming up. It'll be shuttle observer robo. It's the most efficient way to play. And he's going to just go check and see if there's a nexus. That's all that this is doing. He's going to poke over here. Is there a nexus? And then turn around. And that'll help him decide how he wants to carry forward on this build. So here it is. No nexus. Turns around. He's going to check again. No nexus. Turns around. Robotics support bay here for Rich, who has just gone 2-gate goon with obs for most of this time. And there's the nexus. And as the observer comes over, and look at this observer going to turn around, so he's got to be very careful with this. He did see a probe mining minerals there, so I think he wants to shoot in and just make sure. Okay, sees the nexus. Okay, so nexuses are actually timed out very well. They're at about the same time here. But the Reaver is a little bit faster for Rain. So I would look at this and say probably just a slight Rain advantage. Rich put a little bit more money into the Dragoons early on, but these are kind of small things overall. This itself will not lead to a victory. It'll be interesting to see what these guys do to lead to that victory. Is someone going to get the shuttle speed upgrade? That is something that Snow used to great effect in the PvP match. But every player is a different, unique snowflake. We'll see how they want to play it. I'm surprised to not see a pylon out here from Rain yet. Generally, you want a pylon for tanking purposes and to screw up AI of movement. Here you see that Rich did make that pylon. Just very good standard play. I think Rain will make the pylon. Maybe he's just waiting to transfer his probes. He knows that an attack won't come yet. I would be surprised if he doesn't make one, though. It's just such a standard in PvP. That forward pylon is one of the greatest defensive structures known to man. Okay, Rich is actually getting shuttle speed, whereas Rain is not. He's more optimizing getting those units out. So he has double Reaver, moves forward right away. This is actually great moves from Rich. Very, very good. But a couple Scarabs come out, and he does pop an extra Goon because that gets some good damage on a couple of these as well. Continues to move forward with that double Reaver, but we have Shuttle Reaver over here for Rich, and we have the pylon as well. So it doesn't feel like this is likely to break him right away. Oh! Oh, I thought he was going to get hit there. He was a little far from the Reavers was launched. Okay, well, he does get hit there. And this is actually something we did see from Rain. He is not as on top of that micro as some of the other Protoss players, especially Snow. But he does take one Scarab hit. Not end of the world, but 2 Scarab hits kill a Reaver. So you do want to be careful about that. Now, shuttle speed is on the way. Double gateways being added, so going up to 4-gate, going up to 4-gate, all very standard stuff. Once you get your full probe saturation, you can get up to 6 gates to go with your Reaver production. Comes back out with his Reavers. Observer just kind of checking what's going on. Dude, he still doesn't have a pylon out front. I don't quite get it. Maybe he's just going to keep so forward this game that it will never get to that. Okay, there's the 6-gate from Rich. So he is focused heavily on getting out the maximum production that you really kind of can support. And he's almost up to like a very healthy 2 base probe number. Generally, you're going to want like 45, 46 probes. I think 44 is probably the minimum where you feel like you really have the 2 base going. And he gets a really good Scarab to start. Look at that. Drops him to 36 probes and just going to fly back at the shuttle speed. The power of shuttle speed there. Gets some damage onto the pylon. The thing is, you can let Reavers kill pylons. Costs 5 more minerals to kill a pylon with Reavers if they don't have the plus attack damage upgrade than it takes to actually make the pylon. Okay, now a move out here from Rich. Ooh, very good pickup. Pulls those Reavers back. Some targeting there from Rain, and he gets the shuttle. So getting the shuttle's pretty darn big. Okay, gets some pretty big Scarabs. Oh my god, the targeting of these Reavers is absolute insanity. Got to be careful as you run forward, man. The Reavers just kill so much. And he's going to get it. Oh, my God. Ah. Okay. Well, I got to tell you, that looked better for Rain to me. There is a Reaver left over here from Rich, but it felt to me like Rain did a bit better. That being said, of course, Rain did lose a bunch of probes, so Rich has a better economy. In fact, he's got 3 Reavers against just 1? No, I guess maybe Rich did hold that a bit better. Yeah, and he's got more probes. Damn, and he got the 6 gates quickly. Notice how late the 6 gates are for Rain. This is something I noticed as well. I try to bring it up during the Snow versus Rain cast quite a bit, where I'm like, you know, they can get... You can go 6... Oh, Reaver Scarab damage. That's cool. You can get 6 gate Reaver, basically. That's like the maximum production. And you can see the ladder player has gotten that out as quickly as possible. Whereas Rain, like, he lagged behind on the gateway ads just slightly. I just find that a little bit interesting. And part of that might just be that he lost some probes as well. That can slow things down, your ads later on. Okay, so Scarab damage on both sides. Really seems like this is kind of the new meta in PvP even, is just so Reaver focused. We've been seeing a lot less Zealot legs and things like that. Okay, gets 1 Scarab off, so okay probe kills. Gets like 3 there, I want to say. He's pulled a lot of Dragoons way off into a weird position. A lot of Dragoons in the center right now, as well as the double Reaver dive in. Oh, God. This is literally exactly what Snow was doing. To kill Rain in that series, if you're remembering that. Just flying with the speed shuttles and Rain is like, my units are a bit out of position. Like, his positioning of his army against his opponent's army, God tier. His positioning of his army against Reaver harassment, dog tier. God tier versus dog tier. No, I'm not that bad, but like, I mean, we saw a lot of games that looked like that, where he's just, a shuttle is flying into an empty main base. And now you actually have Rich kind of bullying Rain back across the map a little bit. A lot of Dragoons coming up from Rain's base, though, and he's going to sandwich these goons. So I think Rain actually has a very good potential here to kill off this entire army. He's got to be careful with this shuttle, though, because it's like 1 hit from death. So he throws that out. You can see these Dragoons, like Rich has more Dragoons here, so he can kind of target these down. But overall, it's way more Dragoons for Rich that are going to end up dying. Even though he gets pretty efficient on that first group of Rains. Well, I mean, if these get away, then I have to take that back. Okay, more Dragoons coming out from Rain. Has to get his probes back mining at that natural. Dude, his probe count is so low. He's got to go kill him right now, I think. Which, actually, there's a reasonable chance that that can occur. Don't forget this shuttle is super low. It's 3 Dragoon hits from death. But he is getting some insane Scarabs right now. Just literally diving onto his opponent's Reavers, but Rich picks those up in time. And I think Rich actually just holds. Yeah, a GG from Rain. So Rich ends up taking down Rain here in this ladder match. You know, obviously not the same as an ASL match. Rich hasn't even gone into ASL yet, but like that was very good play. Just very good standard play there from Rich. And the dive-ins on the probes, that's actually what got Rain. So we're seeing the ASL match again. It seems like that is kind of the weakness of Rain in the matchup. Like, he really outmaneuvers you as far as Dragoons on the map, his army positioning and things like that. But if you can get in with Reavers and deal a little bit of damage to his economy, you get him into a really bad spot. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.